Hello, hello. This is the 164th Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2224, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. Last week, Simon, we mentioned a bit of a nervousness with our alien friends.
Yeah, some skittishness, some curtness in their responses when you speak with them.
And this was nice timing because mystery solved. We know what was going on.
Yeah. A whole new universe is starting.
Yes.
And they knew about that and they were pretty worried about that.
Exactly. They were kind of nervous. Usually they don't really get so nervous or alien friends. They always give the impression, seen everything, been there, done that.
Yeah.
And
I guess, so it's not just any old new universe starting any old place. It's a new universe starting in the middle of our current universe. And that explains their concern.
And we, let's say, Earth people, we always tend to have a bit of a, let's say, relatively egocentric perspective on things. You know, us.
Earth-centric, I guess.
Yeah, Earth-centric, yeah. I guess, yeah. And we keep on learning new things about the universe, but we had the impression the universe means everything. Even
includes everything already, yeah.
Exactly. Even the Dutch word for universe, by the way, is literally the word absolutely everything. So that there's another absolutely everything happening, kind of.
So a new absolutely everything forming in the center or in the middle of the current absolutely everything.
Exactly, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of something being everything if there's
it's
another
not so absolutely
everything.
there, yeah.
Exactly, and but I mean that's usually the human perspective, and then the Parsians or the Illuminati or both, they come to us, tap us on our back, saying, "Don't worry about us, it's like this." And then in this case, they're like, "Oh, we don't really know," and they feel uncomfortable.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so, they noticed that before us. They also tend to be from further away in the universe as we are. So, and they have their ways of finding out things. And then they are not just nervous about this actually happening, but specifically the Parsians a little bit nervous about maybe having caused this with experiment.
Right. So then, getting the blame. If it goes badly.
Yeah. Also, they slightly, at least they are considering blaming themselves. I mean, I guess it's with a lot of things, it's really hard to say cause and effect. You know, maybe this was already waiting and they just found out about it.
Sure. Maybe they discovered it.
Maybe they gave it a bit of a push, but it was already moving in that direction anyway. Something like that. But, a new universe in the middle of our universe with the potential that the new universe is going to usurp the current universe.
That's one possibility. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns here, but that seems to be one of the possibilities. I
mean, essentially, if the new universe at the point where it has usurped the current universe completely, we're back to one universe again.
Sure.
So then the absolutely everything is still reestablished.
Yep.
Exactly. Just in the middle, there were just briefly two absolutely everythings, and then there's one again. Yeah. I guess in the cosmic history, that doesn't really matter.
No, but it matters to us.
I guess.
Existing as we do in our current universe.
I mean, the thing is, of course, lots of questions are being asked. Very little answers are being given. That's... I mean, for those listening to the podcast a lot, we like those topics.
That's our bread and butter, yeah.
Exactly, where there's more questions than answers. But it's scientifically interesting to find out how does this work.
Yeah. Like, both. So, first of all, what will that process look like? What will it be like for one universe to grow inside of another? And then basically, will those two universes be compatible? That's pretty important too. And then how that's even happened in the first place is also interesting.
Exactly, the whole science behind it. You know, it's at least we feel confident enough by now, we on Earth, in when they tell us these things. By the way,
legit.
Did you hear there's a new universe happening, and it might just usurp our universe, that by now we're pretty confident in saying, we'll just see about that. Let us find out by ourselves. And then smart people have confirmed then that this might actually be happening.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, not just taking someone else's word for it, but independently verifying it.
Exactly. Apparently, vacuum decay has been detected. Something that so far had been a theory.
Right, it was just theoretical.
Exactly, because vacuum is just everywhere and it's apparently decaying. So this has been detected, and more than that, they have seen the beginning of a Higgspolosion with several ultra high energy cosmic ray collisions. At least that's how they described it in the news. Yeah, that's also, as far as
that was also something that was theoretical before, and hey, now it's actually being observed.
Exactly. So, which I find kind of soothing, where, okay, this is happening for the first time. We're not really sure how this affects us, but at least we somehow saw this coming theoretically.
Yeah.
I had personally never heard of a Higgspolosion myself. No. Now it's in the news everywhere. It's like the news trend, you go on social media, hashtag Higgspolosion, everybody has an opinion. Before it was theory, now it's actually happening. It's another one of those scientific things that move from theory to practice. Yeah. Just something that I personally, I guess, would have loved to have kept in the theory box for a bit longer.
It is a bit scary. Like we'll go into some of the speculation in a sec. Some of the possibilities maybe are a bit worrying, but like you say, we'll find out. We don't need to overly worry ourselves.
I also like it how you say possibilities. It sounds almost like opportunity. Maybe it's not a risk. Maybe it's a chance.
It is that too.
Maybe the new universe can even be better than the current one.
Yeah, even more artichokes than this one.
Good point. Maybe it's actually universe's way of kind of like with a snake skin, like shedding renewing its old skin and coming back like a bigger, better version of its previous self. Yeah.
And then I guess the question we'll find out the answer to, are we the skin that's being shed? Are we the insides of the skin? I mean, we'll find out how it goes.
Very philosophical. Are we the skin or are we the body?
Like the inside, the juicy inside. That's all.
I'm not sure if I want to be the skin or the juicy inside.
I prefer to be the juicy inside.
But I like this analogy. And then also, this might just be normal. It's like we, with our very limited view on cosmic history, go like, oh no, what's happening? And universe go like, what are you guys talking about? I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I guess not all the time, if both the Partians and the Illuminati are also concerned. But sure, maybe on galactic timescales.
Yeah, even they are at one point, like they were baby species or non-existent at some point. And maybe this is how the universe has been renewing itself. Maybe the Big Bang that started it all, wasn't the one that started it all.
But it was a rejuvenation or a development of a universe before.
That Big Bang that we always thought started the universe just started this one. And before that was another universe that had its own Big Bang and so on. I like that. But it also means that whatever's coming afterwards, this new universe, might just be bigger and better.
Might be.
There's just this Big Bang thing to go through.
Yeah.
Because before we had a Big Bang behind us, and we're looking forward, now there might just be a Big Bang at the end of the tunnel.
Another one, yeah.
Not sure if that's a thing to look forward to.
We'll find out.
I hope not, actually.
Wait, you mean you hope we won't find... I mean, I hope we find out, because the alternative to us not finding out...
Good point, actually.
We die before it gets here.
I mean, I'm fine if this takes, maybe... If this is starting, or maybe it takes millions of years.
I see your point,
Or maybe it's not actually
happening. Okay, in that sense, we wouldn't find out within our lifetimes.
Yeah. Or maybe it's not actually happening.
Maybe.
Maybe the Higgspolosion poses in itself.
Yeah, some misreading of the measurements.
I mean, so far it's been a theory anyway, It's like maybe the theory was wrong, and then it's like this, how you try to blow a bubblegum bubble, and at one point it goes like pop. Okay, then what? Maybe that's what's happening here.
Sure. I mean, I actually like the idea of it coming sooner rather than later, because then I get to find out myself.
That's true,
rather than it comes 3 million years from now. That's a bit beyond the scope of our podcast.
It's pretty exciting.
Because one thing to wonder about. Okay, it's a whole new universe. Presumably that means it has a whole bunch of stuff in it. Planets, aliens, artichokes, whatever, yeah? But then one thing I'm wondering about, okay, if it's a universe like ours, there'll be a whole lot of empty space in that universe. Oh. And so then basically, you have a whole other universe worth of planets and people. Can they just hang out alongside us? We'll just, there's twice as many planets, twice as many people, but, there's more than enough space. It's great. That would be pretty cool. What if it's a universe that instead of having vacuum, it's a liquid universe? Everything is full of liquid. That might be trickier to reconcile with our current universe, yeah.
But I like your idea of, if it happens sooner rather than later, then we get to find out we're going to have front row seats. And we're going to be right there when the universe renews itself.
Exactly. That seems like, at least based on what we know, we were saying earlier, maybe this happens often in terms of the universe, but at least in terms of people, this is pretty rare. So we're pretty lucky.
And then also the knights of the past and the bus drivers of the past and the senior performance specialists of the past, they had nothing like this. No. We have the universe renewing itself. Or being usurped. I mean, we're going to find out.
Maybe one or the other or both.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is, we're now venturing into the speculation territory or strong point. But for me, I was wondering if this new universe usurps the existing one.
Completely replaces it. There's no trace of our current universe left.
Exactly. I'm wondering the analogy. Is this like a lawnmower? Or whatever is not necessary.
Glass.
Exactly. Or is it like a sieve where just everything
straining our current universe through it?
Yeah, exactly.
Leaving us behind because we're big enough to not fall through the teeny holes in the sieve.
Yes, it's are the holes the size of a planet, of a human, or maybe like a
grain of rice,
or a molecule?
Yeah, molecule. Even smaller. Yeah,
atom.
Molecule.
Let's say atom. Yeah, easier to pronounce.
Yeah, and smaller.
Because maybe that's it. Maybe the new universe really doesn't need anything that the current universe built. It just needs the atoms to build new stuff. So maybe we'll go through a sieve.
Dang, I was thinking the nice way where it leaves us behind whole and intact and we can hang out in the universe.
Okay, no.
And you're meaning more like how current universe gets mushed through this sieve, broken down into whatever the smallest thing in the sieve is, which if it's the size of an atom, means everything broken down into atoms.
Yeah, and then the new universe gets to rebuild everything from scratch, kind of like Game World Randomizer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess. So that would be one analogy, or maybe the holes are the size of a planet, the size of a galaxy, the size of a person. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if we would make it through the sieve, if there's even a sieve, I would love the holes to be at least the size of Earth.
That would be nice.
Because otherwise we're going to have, billions of floating people. I can't imagine how that
maybe
works.
Our solar system, because we kind of need the sun too. Like if literally just the Earth went through, but there didn't happen to be another star on the other side, that would be tricky.
Yeah, that would be a lame universe though, without stars.
I mean, there could be other stars, but just if they're too far or too close,
okay, fair enough.
You'd have issues.
Especially everything depends on solar energy, and the next star is just a few light years further away.
That would cause issues. Our current star is much closer than some number of minutes, rather than a light year.
True. Or it could be closer.
That would also cause issues.
Let's say that
let's say things
a hole the size.
Well, I mean the other way. I mean, I'm also fond of the Earth. I would like it to stick around. Say it can't happen. What if people can get in little spaceships, maybe? So I say little, smaller than a planet anyway. And those spaceships can travel between the universes. Because so the new universe usurping our current one, that supposes that it will completely replace it. But maybe that process takes some time, maybe a few weeks. And in those few weeks, maybe we can travel back and forth a bit, check out the new place, see what stuff from our old place we want to move over.
Exactly.
What stuff we don't need to because they've got already shops there, you can buy it,
Fair enough. I was thinking maybe it doesn't actually usurp it, but it kind of merges. How you have, I don't know, water, and you put a drop of paint in it.
Ah, yeah.
Like for a second, there's a bit of red if it's red paint in the water, but it kind of dissipates.
Yeah,
exactly. And if you put a lot of red in it, it just kind of mixes and becomes like half red water. and if you put a lot of red paint in it, at one point it's just red paint with a lot of water. So maybe that's kind of how it works. It kind of merges everything. You know, maybe there's, I don't know, feels less exciting, but maybe a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. With that idea, there wouldn't need to be destruction or anything.
Yeah, and that way we can have all the cool stuff that a new universe brings, but we still also get to hang on to stuff that we kind of got used to.
Yeah. I mean, the big unknown, the thing we can't know until it comes, I guess, is how compatible or incompatible the laws of physics will be between the universes. Because when they're compatible, great. When they're not, I have no idea how that will go.
Yes, exactly. Wow. I mean, it's like the universe already blows your mind, right? Everything that's out there. It's just, our current universe has so much difference. It's not just like a star with a bunch of planets. That's it. There's so much crazy stuff out there that we can't even imagine, you know. And then, oh, by the way, there's another universe, but even more crazy stuff.
This is what I am for real interested, even if it ends up being that we're wiped out of existence, to find out, is it so different? Is it basically more of the same? You know, like a snake shedding its skin, the new snake that comes along, or not the new snake, but you know what I mean? It's not like a completely different snake, it's just a little bit bigger.
But it still follows like the basic electric laws.
It has the same, exactly. It's not like all of a sudden a butterfly. So we shall see.
I realize now I would be slightly disappointed. We get this whole new universe and it's roughly the same, just, you know,
but a little bit nicer, a little bit shinier, a little bit newer.
True. Yeah.
Okay, but I see what you mean. It would be disappointing compared to the possibilities.
It would just be this feeling where some big tech company announces a new device. It's now version 48, and you're looking forward to 48, and it's just a slightly better processor, slightly
and
better
you're upgrading
camera.
from, I don't know, version 30, you're like, holy, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
But you're already on version 47, yeah, okay, whatever.
And everybody gets super excited, and in reality it's like, okay, it's roughly the same, just a tiny bit different, tiny bit better. Yeah. So I wonder if this now is a universe 2.0, or it's immediately a jump to 10.x or something like that.
I see.
I like your idea of a liquid universe.
A lot of swimming.
Can we have even more crazy ideas? Maybe it's completely solid. Maybe it's one planet.
Indeed.
Or one...
I mean, in one way, it's easy to imagine, okay, the whole universe is basically solid, and you can tunnel through it, maybe. I'm assuming that you can tunnel, that it's not literally solid. You know, that you can displace stuff. In one way, that's easy to imagine, but then on the other way, how does that even work? And
also, I think we're still having a too simplified view on things, because we've now done basically gas and liquid and solid, and I guess, you know, beyond gas there's nothing. What we currently have, you know, the whole interbellum.
Sure, but it could be something we can't actually imagine.
Yeah, maybe it's just in your mind. Maybe you can't actually see it. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like there's nothing that you see, but
yeah, you sense it in other ways. So not through sight, not through measuring the external world, but it's somehow one single consciousness experiencing itself.
Like a seventh dimension or something like that. I'm just making up a
of
number.
9, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, I think by now we got to a point where we were definitely going to be disappointed by the new universe.
We have perhaps talked it up a bit too much.
Exactly. Maybe it's now going to retreat itself, thinking about the expectations that we have. It's like, I'm going to surprise them with a Higgspolosion, and then they already knew about this. You know, they're going to expect me to be liquid or solid. You know, while I just
also a conscious universe.
Exactly, and I just repositioned the stars a bit. You know, it's cool.
But if it's actually conscious like this and can communicate with us, regardless of whatever else is going on. You know, I was saying earlier, or one of the ideas earlier is, what if, you know, there are other people to meet in this universe, but what if the whole universe is one consciousness?
Maybe we can send our questions into space towards where the new universe is happening.
Or our listeners can send us emails, we'll tell them how later, and we can pass them on to that new universe, and then let our listeners in the past know.
Cool. Okay, so what do they do if they have questions for the new universe?
I'm going to tell them in a sec, but first let's read out, or answer a question that was sent in.
Oh yeah, good point.
So, Bante Loua asks, Hi Simon, somehow I always picture you with a cigar. I have to know, do you actually smoke cigars? Sorry for the weird question. That is a weird question, but no apology necessary, Bante Loua. I don't think I've ever smoked one on the show, so it's interesting that you picture me with one. I do not smoke them, but I do like chomping on them.
Fair enough.
So half and half there.
I thought I saw the question and I was like, I'm not sure how she got that impression, but it's not completely off.
No, but I never chomp them on the show because that would kind of
make
it hard for me to speak. So some nice insight there.
And a lot of the cigars were made with artichoke leaves, so they have been getting. I've gotten a bit more expensive recently.
Fresh ones, yeah, but I'm fine with the ones from my Congo.
Fair enough.
Okay, and cool. So Bante Loua sent that email by writing to michaellasagna5@gmail.com. And so, as you were mentioning a second ago there, when our listeners have questions for the new universe that they'd like us, or for us, either way, they can send an email to michaellasagna5@gmail.com. And this is really important that they put the number 164 in the subject line, that we know this episode successfully was sent back in time some number of years.
I like it if you look at our email inbox. The moment a listener sends us an email with a number in the subject line, it suddenly appears. So every time we release a new episode, we see emails pop up suddenly with under 64. It's like, okay.
It's not like it's not like they were always there and we knew they were there and we were just ignoring them.
Yeah, exactly. So the moment we can see this, because we look at the inbox, there's nothing about episode 164 at the moment. While we record right now, there's no emails with 164 in the episode, in the inbox. We released this episode and then we look at it a day later, suddenly, and it looks like they've always been there.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, but
I appreciate it.
I like it how if you look at the inbox, there's also something like 95, 123, 47, and so on. So there's listeners listening to older episodes, but only sending them right now.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm not sure that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. People listen to episodes of podcasts, not just the day or the week they come out, but at random points in their future from that point on.
Okay. Cool. Then this was a very interesting episode. We'll most definitely follow up on this if there's anything news to mention. For now, thanks for listening and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.